With American billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos leading the charge, the race to make money in space is heating up.
Space is going to be a big, thriving economy.
Now, Canada is poised to grab its share of that orbital economy as the first fully Canadian launch of a commercial rocket is just days away.
It's exciting, a little nerve-wracking.
Nicole Mortellaro introduces us to the high-flying Canadian players who are ready to launch.
Rockets roar to life in an undisclosed location 2 hours east of Toronto. It's a test fire of an engine that one Canadian company hopes will bring rocket launches to Canada, eventually sending satellites into space from home soil, something that has never been done before. This unassuming building on the outskirts of Toronto is where the rocket is built and assembled. Even their engines are 3D printed in the building.
It's been about 2.5 years since we've been at this.
Rahul Goel is the founder and CEO of NordSpace. His company is set to launch its first rocket from Newfoundland by the end of the summer.
And so what do we see here?
Well, this is our first rocket, so it's called Taiga. It's our first suborbital launch vehicle.
They didn't want us to show the inside of the rocket, but it is the one going to the launch pad, which NordSpace just recently built from scratch, including the roads to get there on Newfoundland's southern coast. It's a lot of effort for a made-in-Canada solution, so why do it?
A true sovereign access to space capability means launching Canadian-made payload satellites from Canadian-made rockets from a Canadian spaceport. If we don't have any one of those three, is it really a sovereign capability?
Building and testing the rocket was fast, and Goel used his own money from his other businesses to finance it.
It's just our Pathfinder vehicle. We were able to go from pretty much napkin sketches to this built vehicle in about a year.
This rocket at 4.5 meters is just the beginning. The next one is as wide as this drum and 26 meters high. And this company isn't alone in wanting to send Canadian-made rockets into space.
So if you can see, Nicole, that's the mock-up I talked about.
Bashar El-Zain is the CEO of Reaction Dynamics. The company recently partnered with Maritime Launch Services, which built the first Canadian launch site in Nova Scotia, to launch its first orbital rocket in the next few years. The company is well into testing and development and sees its work as giving Canada an economic boost.
Space is going to be a big, thriving economy. And as a country, as an industrialized country, we need a way to access it. We need to get a way to access that orbital economy to benefit from it. See it that way. There's going to be anywhere between 600 to 1,000 jobs created launching Canadian satellites.
But why bother launching rockets and satellites into space from Canadian soil when, say, SpaceX has made it more accessible than ever? The Canadian Space Agency says launching satellites these days means companies lining up for a crowded launch pad in Florida.
There is congestion in spaceport in US, so basically they are lacking place to launch, and so Canada is very well positioned.
A Canadian spaceport would also be a chance to give and not just take from the international space community.
When you are collaborating with a partner, it's a collaboration. So you need to bring something on the table. So if we are just asking for something and we never contribute something, then the partnership is less strong.
But another big reason Goel and others see, Canada's rocket engineers stay home instead of taking their talents to countries with launch capabilities.
So right over here is the launch tower called Bigger Ben. Here's our team captain himself.
Talent like Oleg Kalimonov and his team.
We named the rocket Chikabesh, which is a hero from Cree folklore. He's also called like a star boy.
Kalimonov leads a team of rocket engineers at Concordia University. He recently helped his team achieve a first, launching the most powerful rocket ever built by students from Canadian soil. And Kalimonov sees a future beyond Canadian rocketry students getting jobs at home.
You know, it looks like the private sector is finally has some wind in their sails. But there's also, there's something amazing about education, right? We can actually develop an orbital space program within a university. You know, could you imagine that universities capable of launching their own satellites? Like the worlds of research this would be a world's first. You know, like Canada can become a hub of space research.
It's exciting, a little nerve-wracking.
Back at NordSpace, Guel sees the recent enthusiasm for Made in Canada as a good thing.
We used to fly our flag real high and talk about sovereign capabilities, and people used to think that was a little strange. Suddenly it's a cool thing to do. And, we welcome that for sure. And we're glad, Canadians really are realizing why investing in Canada, building in Canada is as important as we think it is.
A lot of investment is still needed, and it's worth it, say these entrepreneurs, because it's money that wouldn't just pay for what goes up, but also to keep talent on Canadian soil.
The NordSpace launch window opens this coming Monday at 8 a.m. Newfoundland time and continues each day next week until conditions are right for liftoff.